Alright, good morning. I love how we're all focused. Make sure we're on our learning target. Answer the question. Yes, ma'am.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, how many gallons does it today? I don't know, like a lot. I don't know.
You guys seen Tony?
No. Or I don't know.
He's here, but
He's here today. I
See,
think
he's
he's
a little late.
He's like walking and like
No, I'll just wait. Give about a minute to finish.
This one.
I do something with this now. I haven't done the project first. I've done the I've done this. I've done all of that.
You don't have to know.
Like everything you do, I just didn't do the project part. Want a free sock box? No, I'm good. I think I'll win. And I also did with that.
How many gallons? Be specific.
I don't know specifics. How much is a gallon? How many pints is in a gallon? Yeah. 6.
How many pints?
Which one? You're saying yes for all of it. Okay, 6.
So think about how many gallons.
I think like 16 ounces. Okay, 24 gallons. I said 24.
Probably about 30 for me, though.
No, because you just gotta think. I shower, I wash my hands, I do dishes, I do laundry,
I'm
and
gonna
then I
shower for
drink.
like an hour. I'm not sure. You got 2 now?
We've had 2 since yet. Were you not here yesterday?
Yeah, I was. But
Well, there was 2 yesterday.
Alright,
And she kept saying
today we are, Tony, can you read the learning target, what we're going to focus on today?
Actually, research the importance of water conservation.
Very good. So we're going to research the importance of water conservation facts. We're going to kind of discuss what water conservation is in a few minutes. So let's start with your question. So you're going to list 5 things you do daily that use water, and then how many gallons. So I want somebody to just give me one activity and how many gallons you think. You don't have to know. I just want you to hypothesize. Tony?
Would actually drinking it kind of cause I don't know how much water I drink because I drink a lot of water because I get to playing sports and everything.
Okay, so drinking water. But how many do you think?
Say probably 3 to 4 gallons.
3 to 4 gallons a day. Okay. Reagan, what's your?
making dinner and probably like 2.
Okay, making dinner 2. Cameo, can you share something? Khalil, I'm calling on you next. Okay, and how many gallons do you think? What a gallon of water looks like?
Have you?
I take long shots. It's like 20 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, this is a gallon.
And I use a lot of gallons.
So, Cameo, how many gallons do you think you take for the dishwasher?
I used to
How many?
3.
Okay, I appreciate how Christy, Reagan, and Brady are listening and not shouting out. So she says about 3. Valerie, share an activity. The shower. Okay, how many gallons? Okay, so she says about 12. You gotta think the shower, the water is consistently running. It doesn't stop. Tony, you want to add something?
Then I probably use about 50 gallons a day.
Okay.
That's just in the shower.
Anybody else have a different activity? Or Scott? Skylar?
I drink it.
Okay, how many do you think?
And
I don't know. How many ounces are in the thing?
Do what?
How many ounces are in the water?
That's a great question.
Because
Wait, how many cups?
there's 16.9 in a water bottle, and that's all I drink. I don't drink anything
All
but
day?
water.
64
Yeah.
ounces, I think.
So probably about,
A lot. I don't drink
A quarter
anything
of
but
this.
water because sugar.
How about 64?
okay. Okay, so today, what were we talking about the last 2 lessons? What did we focus on? Michaela?
No, ecosystem.
Okay, ecosystems, what are the 2 specific factors we've been focusing on? Brady? Abiotic and biotic. So we've been talking about biotic and how humans, plants are all living things, how we feed off each other through the food chain, our energy transfers, starts at the sun and it goes through. But then we kind of been denying abiotic things, so like, is water abiotic?
Yeah.
Yes. So it sits there, they don't live, they don't breathe, but today we're going to talk about how it really affects us and the ecosystem and our health issues, okay? So, we are going to watch a video called Water Crisis to kind of introduce us on water conservation. So, my expectations when I play this video is we have pencils down, eyes are on the screen, knees are turned forward, and we're not talking, we're on level 5, okay? So it's about 3 minutes, so I want you to think about the things he talks about related to water, and maybe what we could focus on today.
Is this the same guy we watched yesterday?
No, this is different.
Fresh water is becoming one of the scarcest resources on the planet. Which sounds crazy, right? I mean, the world's scientists are saying the oceans are rising, and you probably have running water in your house. Shoot, look at a map, and you'll see that 71% of the Earth's surface is covered in water. So, how could we be running out? Well, almost all the water in the world is salt water, so we can't drink it or grow crops with it. About 1% is in the atmosphere, and only 2.5% is fresh water in liquid form. Out of that small amount of fresh water, most of it is found in ice caps, glaciers, and permanent snow, and almost all the rest is found in the ground. Yep, only about 1% of the world's fresh water is easily available to the creatures, plants, and 7 billion humans that live on land. That's it. And here's where we currently stand. Some estimate that we've consumed or are already using about 50 to 60% of our fresh water. 70% going to agriculture, 22% going to industry, and about 8% is what we consume in our homes. Except remember, we eat the food that agriculture grows and use the things that industry makes. So humans are really doing all of the drinking of the milkshake, so to speak. And literally, we love our milkshakes. From start to finish, everyday things all around you have a bigger water footprint than you might imagine. For example, it takes about 140 liters of water to produce 1 cup of coffee, 14,400 liters to produce 1 kilogram of beef, 24,000 liters to produce 1 kilogram of chocolate, and 39,090 liters to produce a new car. Bigger step than you thought, right? About 1 in 8 people don't have access to safe water, and it's even worse in cities where that number is only 1 in 4. On top of that, our population has doubled in the last 40 years. Industrialization continues to develop in response, and our use of water has also quadrupled. Again, to put this simply, we are literally drinking our home, this lovely green and blue milkshake, all up. And if you're thinking water scarcity only happens to other people, I've got water, I'm fine, think again. Even places that currently have access to clean water are at risk due to things like industrial accidents, agricultural waste, poor water management, natural disasters, and yep, from all of the other things that people like you and I flush down the drain. See, that stuff doesn't just go away, it goes back into your milkshake. Innovations of culture and technology that offer sustainable and cleaner industry, farming, and living can change the way that we and all of our descendants live for the better. The way we buy and sell, grow our food, produce our goods and services, and literally govern, develop, build, and interact with everything and everyone around us matters. So, what are some of the solutions? What are some ideas that are out there? What are some of the other challenges? And hopefully most important to you, what can you do? To find out, check out our other videos, share your solutions below, and if you get really excited, type "solve the water crisis" in a search engine, learn more, and do something cool.
Okay, what do we think about the
Wait
video?
a minute, I got a question. It's kind of related, but it's not really related. Did you like set this like on purpose, like doing this subject in the same week as Earth Week? Did
Yeah,
you, like,
remember
do it
that's
on
what I said,
purpose?
Earth Day, yes, it's Saturday, so that's why we're doing, yes. Yes. What do we think about the water crisis? Does it scare you a little?
Nah.
Kind of a big deal?
I
Only
hear
thing that
anything.
scares me is me drinking my
They filter it though. Okay, so to reiterate what he was talking about, this is the distribution of the world's water. So 97% is salt water, 3% is fresh water, but of that 3%, 2% is used in ice caps, the air, soil, and underground. So less than 1% is available for us for all of these activities that we've been talking about. Okay, so that's pretty crazy, right? So, back to the term water conservation. Okay, I want you looking at the word using conservation. Maybe you've heard the word conserve. Using that, what do you think water conservation is? And maybe why it's important. But let's establish what it is first. Mohammed, what's your hypothesis?
To save up or to use carefully.
Okay, to save up or use carefully. Any other guesses? Reagan?
To use mindfully.
Mindfully. Good. Anyone else?
Wait, what did you say?
She said to use mindfully.
No, what did you say?
Up here. What is water conservation? Okay, so we both kind of hit that
Wait.
on the head.
Wait.
Conservation means to preserve or like to save. So we want to save the water or preserve it, right? So that it's not running out and all the crisis that he was talking about. So why is water conservation important?
So we don't run out of water and die.
Yes, so we don't run out of water and die. Okay? So any questions on what water conservation is, why it's important? Okay. Okay, so in conclusion, water is essential to us personally and to all life on Earth. So both plants and animals, this hooks back to the biotic. And humans consist of 70% water. So we are 70% water, so it's important to retain that water and to save it so that we can continue filling it back up. We can't just say, okay, we're going to go down to 50%. We have to maintain that 70%. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do to kind of look at how much we use individually is, Christy, will you pass this up? Hold on. Okay, Christy's going to pass out a water usage worksheet. So looking at the board, you are going to look at the variety of activities that's on here with your partner that's next to you. I'll assign you a partner, move you around a little bit. And how much water each uses. So when you look at the activity, it says quantity of water used each time that you do this. So one time, that's on average how much water is used. So compare that to like your bell work and what you thought. And then you're going to turn to your partner and discuss which activities stand out to you the most. So we're not filling anything in yet. We're just kind of analyzing it and looking over it real quick. Okay. Skylar. Yeah. Sorry.
What's the difference between showering and bathing?
Is bathing what would bathing be from?
Brady and Dylan. Brady and Dylan. Tell you all partners. Okay, so Reagan had a good question. She's looking at the bats. They're talking. Anything that you don't do, then you just won't put anything there. Okay, so what stood out to you, Kaya, when you were looking at this? Which activity stood out to you? So looking at your water usage, the activities, And the quantities, which ones stood out to you?
Maybe.
So showering, how it took 30 gallons to shower. Okay. Let's do one more. Michaela, what's stood out to you?
more to bathe than shower.
Because,
You have to fill up the whole entire bathtub and all that.
But
and like we talked about before, like we were talking about how long it takes to take a shower. So it's depending, but this is just average.
eventually, just turn it off.
Wouldn't it depend on how deep your
Right, but the
bathtub
bathtub, it takes so long to fill it up. Don't a lot of people, like, if you do take a bath, you like turn the water on and then you'll leave the room and come back? Because it takes a little bit to fill it up. Skylar?
is? Wouldn't it depend on how deep your bathtub is?
Yes, that too. Okay, can you all hypothesize things that you do that aren't on the list? Maybe things we talked about during the work? Anything you don't see that you do? Jameson? Bathing's on the top. That's okay. Reagan? I mean, Brady, I'm sorry. I saw the blue you got Brady. Filling the dog's bowl up. So if your dog stays outside a lot and they exercise, you gotta fill that thing up once or twice a day. Mohammed? Go ahead, Mohammed.
Drinking water.
Drinking water, like we talked about, very good. And Tyler, is that what you were gonna say? Or something different? You have a different one? Okay, just washing your hands, going to the bathroom. So that depends on how many times you go to the bathroom a day, right? You could be using a lot of water. So, what I want you to do next is I want you to think about and analyze your completed chart when you finish this. So think about how the average person, I have this up on the board, uses 80 to 100 gallons per day. So using this worksheet, you are going to calculate how many gallons you use a week. So 100 times 7 is about 700. So I want you to compare with your neighbor, your all's numbers, and compare with the average, and then be ready to share. So I'm going to give you about 5 minutes. I'm going to give you a calculator per partner so that you can calculate it out quickly, and then be ready to share. Questions?
What do you think is this?
Yeah, so you put number of times you do the activity. You could put 5 for 1, you could put 0. That's how many times you do it in a week. Then you're calculating by the quantity of water used each time, times number of days in a week. So maybe you just do it 1 day a week. Maybe you do it all 7 days a week. And then you get the gallons and add up your total. Okay, is that clarifying, Chrissy? Yes, ma'am?
So in this course, how many days a week do you use a gallon? Or is it each day?
How many times in each day? Because then you multiply by days to get your total.
One day, how many? It means
How
like
do you do
taking
it?
a
Yes,
bath,
in
like saying it
one. So remember, the average is about 700 per week.
At least like 3 times.
So you just skip that one, right?
Dishwashers.
Easy, dirty washing.
You don't know how many times you're supposed to do it. It's just a guess. So, we'll get your activities. How many times you do each one in 1 day. Okay, so good. Will you help me pass the calculator out since you got a lot progress there? This is a week. So first thing we want to do is go through here, and you're saying how many gallons a day each one. So write that. And you, this doesn't have to be the same, it's gonna be different because you're gonna compare contrast with each other. Yeah, number of days in a week. So, do you do it every day? Okay, so then you would put once
a day, and then you would only do it one time. If you don't do it, can you put 0?
Yeah, there'll be stuff on here that you don't do. So think about on average, because this is how many times a day. So if you know that whoever you live with runs it, okay, so 2, and then if it's every day, you put 7 days. Because that's where it averages like. Does that make sense? Does that help you?
Oh, everybody's supposed to get one.
That's okay. To make it go a little bit faster, because we only have 3 minutes. No, to finish the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Class went by quick.
13.
And if you don't do it every day, you do it how many days a week you do it?
I think a dog's bowl is probably a gallon. My dog's bowl is big.
And then washing your hands. What about, do you ever bathe your dog? Never.
She has like a little base
She
to
got
get in.
fleas.
There's water.
Okay, so you have to fill that up.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I know, and that's just talking about your dog. Like your dog uses a lot of water. Yeah.
She gets dry.
So this is just estimates.
So what number of days do you want?
What?
Did you put one for number of days?
Do you do it one day of the week, or do you do it all 7 days of the week?
I did that.
Okay. So it will probably depend on the activity, right? Because you probably flush the toilet all 7 days, because you may. The house mainly use the dishwasher.
Shower every day of the week. It's nasty. If I even sweat out the clothes, then I'll be in the shower.
Well, you have about
How you do it?
I don't always use the
Miss Swift.
Okay.
That's how you do it. You must play with
Say,
it.
what, 3 or 4 times a week? Maybe less, I don't know. Depends. Everybody wash their hands?
Yes, that's like
No, because what's 0 times 40? Yeah, so when you calculate it out, it'll become 0.
I did 74. What's
210 gallons that I use in the shower daily. I was not thinking.
For how many per week? And then you're going to compare that to the average of about 700.
Why would they say that? 420 gallons?
Because some people are different. Some people only take baths, some people only take showers, some people switch it up. Everyone's different. Okay, I'm gonna put 30 seconds on the clock to finish adding if you need to, and then compare with your neighbor, and remember about the 700 a week, and then we're gonna share and talk about it. So about 30 seconds. So are you high compared to the?
Did you say only 700 gallons a week?
Yes, the average.
Alright.
Oh, so I'm
Twice. I've got 30
You already got all this.
890
Share with your neighbor, and then we'll share out loud.
You multiply these, then you multiply by that.
Share with each other, and then how do they compare?
Oh my God.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. Jansen, how does your numbers compare to Khalil's and the average of 700 a week?
I have twice as much, 2 times as much as the average.
how do you think you compare to Tyler and the average?
Just finishing.
I went over average 4 times.
Okay, so Skylar says she went 4 times over.
Because I got 3,374 and then I divided it by 700 and I got 14. And she's not done yet.
Good evaluation. About
I'm under 700.
okay.
I'm 400.
Her baby is probably.
Okay, so Michaela's under.
14 also.
Chrissy, what are you looking like compared to the average? What are you compared to the average?
I don't know, babe.
Okay.
I can't shout.
And Dylan, how do you compare?
I got 557.
Okay, so you're under also. Okay. So, set that aside, turn your calculator off. Bless you. Okay. You can do that in a minute when we get started.
And I only do like 4 things and
Okay. Calculator should be turned off. Push it aside so you're not tempted to mess with it so I can explain what we're gonna, our assessment, our assignment for today. So I appreciate I have Michaela's eyes, I have Kaya's eyes. They're focused. Chrissy, Brady, thank you. Thank you, Kendall. Thank you, Dylan, Brady, Mohammed, Tyler. Tony, you with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Can you stop and push it away, please?
I'm not finished.
Thank you. Okay, I am going to hand out a PSA rubric. So we've done PSAs before. What does PSA stand for? Public Service Announcement. So I've used this rubric since you're familiar with it from last time. I have made some changes, so let's look at the changes. So tomorrow we are going to create a poster for water conservation awareness. Who do you think our audience should be? Who's someone that we can affect that is very close to us and make an impact on? Khalil, who do you think our audience should be?
Everybody?
Okay, let's narrow that down just a little bit. Who's really close to us that we can get? Cameo? Okay, the people in our house. What about a larger community that's very, very close to us? School? What were you going to say? Okay, so we are going to go with our school. We're going to make posters, the PSA posters. And we're going to hang them up all in the hallway, all around 7th grade hallway, 6th grade hallway, everywhere so that everyone can see them. So it's important, remember that hook that we talked about to draw them in so they can see it. So looking at your rubric, you are going to make your message, which is similar to your claim in science class when you do that. So think about the claim that you're making. Message is clear and concise, target audience is clear and concise. Then you're going to have your evidence. So you have your 5 facts like normal, but then I've added a couple things. So 2 examples of activities with quantity of water usage are used. So give me an example of what you've put on your poster for that. Jansen?
I had a question. How am I supposed to try and get people to use less water if I use a lot of water myself?
So that's a good question. So we are going to first focus on personally. These are also for ourselves too, like when we're looking them up, and hopefully seeing the video, the water crisis, doing this project, you personally will take it to heart and also try to limit your use and be aware of how much water you're using. Great question. Okay, so Tyler, looking at your water usage page, how could you put on your poster 2 examples of an activity with a water quantity?
What?
So looking under evidence, so we're all looking at a rubric under evidence for 4 points. You have to have 2 examples of activities with quantity of water usage. So you could say what?
Probably, maybe
that because washing clothes takes 30 gallons. So then that's one of them, you just need one more. Okay? Because if you look next below that, it says poster has connection to how it affects audience personally. We don't want just a bunch of facts on a poster and then tell them about water. We want to know, hey, how does this affect me personally and why should I change and help to save the water? Okay, so if you say, like the example I gave Tyler, then they'll say, oh, well, maybe I should use less water. You tell them, how else could you affect them personally? What's a sentence you could put on the poster? So like think of the water crisis video. What's something he said? How did that affect you personally? Okay. Very good. So she brought up the statistics part, which is really efficient, that less than 1% of the water in the entire world is available for us to use. So that's how it's going to affect them personally. So we're limited to the amount of water. Does that make sense? Okay, next is creativity, neatness. So these are the same, they haven't changed. So look at the bottom of your teamwork time on task. These are your group rules. So it's the participation, be respectful, use level 2 voices so other people should be able to hear you, stay with your partner. 13 points is the poster outline checklist. So this is what we're going to complete today. And then tomorrow we are going to do the poster. So on the back of your paper you will see the checklist that says the title, the pictures. So while Tyler's looking at 5 facts, maybe Muhammad is thinking of a hook, a good title, and thinking of 2 pictures that he can use during his PSA. Does that make sense? Okay, what questions do you have on this? I feel like we're kind of drifting off a little bit. Any questions on what we're doing today? And then tomorrow you're going to be given a sheet of construction paper that's about the size of your paper, and you're going to put it all, transfer it all onto there, and then we're going to present it. Okay? So you're going to get an iPad so that you can research. Yes, it's a small poster. Like the how-to posters that we did? Yes. Yes. All right, you may get started, and then I'm going to pass out these iPads. I'm going to give you about 15 minutes and then check in and see how we are doing. Ready? Give one per table.
What paper are we supposed to do?
So on the back, you're writing your contact today, and then you're writing. And then maybe while he's wanting to research the facts. So he looks like he's going to do a few facts that you want to think about the hook, what pictures you could do, and then maybe you all want to discuss how you'll portray this on your poster. So we're going to move past this, honey, so we can get started on our project. Put this over here so you're not distracted. So you all might first want to have a discussion about what you want your poster to look like as a whole. So discuss it and then kind of split up the work. Does that make sense? Yes? You okay, lady?
Do you think I got this one? Bullet points.
Let's just see like the best facts first.
Shower. Oh, this is a real good. Showering and bathing are the largest indoor uses 25% of water.
Can I use filling up? Yes. How many gallons should it be? I would that was first to get it. So, I was gonna say, well, I would maybe put the exact, yeah, I'm gonna, after, because she's looking up some of the facts right now, and then I was gonna do this. Yeah, I love that idea. That's a lot of water. You should have mentioned that earlier, that's good. I didn't think about that till now. I know, but it's good, I love that you did. About our cluster.
First connections have affected personally. Well, if we keep using all the water while we're younger, when we get older, it's gonna be less water for us to use.
Some ideas. It doesn't have to be it. Just throw some ideas out there. We want that to be our photograph. Start off with that and then see where it goes. So then what facts can we start looking at?
A lot of people using the shower.
All the time maybe and stuff and how so how would that affect your personal life?
I can't see the person.
So I think we have to restart. So let's see. Start like searching the facts. So then maybe you could be thinking of a hook, like a title, pictures you could put on there. While she's doing that, and then writing down like their how it affects them personally. That's good. So if you're looking for a good source, cdc.gov is an excellent source to go to. I didn't say there was other good ones. I'm just saying that.
Ow.
I'm not saying. Ladies, we doing okay?
It doesn't work.
There's another one over there. Are you just having trouble with the touchscreen? I don't know why it did that. Maybe it was having a moment. We all
It's
have
dead.
moments. Yes, per week. Good. Remember, we don't just want to like regurgitate facts, we want to explain like the importance of them, how it relates to them. Really send that message home. Get some attention, but like your all's attention.
We already found 4.
So what are we gonna, what's our focus on our poster?
What was, just go to one of these. 118, 14, 13, or 38.
What's the second fact we have?
Maybe your layout or something like that.
What's the second fact?
He brings on a good.
We need to have facts about like how much water we use in life.
How much what?
That is important to express what the water crisis is.
How much what?
So what is that what we want our focus
Wash your fruits and vegetables in a pan of water instead of running water from the tap.
So that's a way that they can conserve the water.
Use the garbage disposal sparingly. Instead, compose vegetable waste, food waste, and save gallons of water.
How do you feel about the purpose is how to conserve water?
Play a board game teaching you how to conserve water.
Have a plumber reroute your gray water to trees and plants.
How are you doing, ladies?
Sewer water. When buying a washer, check the.
Because then that tells them, oh, this is that what really got me.
Get water.
We can have like an extra thing.
When buying a washer,
Yes.
check the source.
This we're just brainstorming around.
That's like to get water into water.
In the soil.
Native to your garden.
Okay, I think we should have two.
If your shower fills a 1 gallon bucket and then touch the shower head with the water and
What is that on?
wateruser.com.
Collect water from your roof and install.
Put in your shower by a minute or two and you'll save up to 150 gallons per month.
Shorten your showering time.
Number 40.
Time your shower to keep it under 5 minutes. It saves up to 1,000 gallons.
How can you have 5 minutes shower?
I have like 20-minute showers. Toilet leaks can be compared to trash. Be sure to touch your toilet.
I'm not sure, I think it says your toilet.
But yeah, at the end we have to write ways to conserve water and write how we're wasting it on dumb things.
Without flushing, there's a leak. It could be about 8 gallons.
Like that's used 2 examples.
Put food coloring in your toilet can. If it sinks into the bowl without flushing, there's a leak. Fix it and seal it down. When running a bath, plug the bathtub before turning on the water. Adjust the temperature and subject.
I was gonna say, it doesn't have to be the ones that have the most. Remember, it's kind of about awareness, just so they can be aware.
Upgrade older toilets with water saving
But we need
water.
that, right? So maybe we want. No, that's good. That's what I'm saying. So maybe we want to focus on limiting these things so that we can say so that we'll have water to drink. Because we don't want to limit how much water we're drinking. But maybe we don't need to use 30 gallons when we're showering. Right, Khalil? Does that sound good? Okay. All right, keep it up, guys. Yeah, okay, so you have two, so then we need some more, so then we have our activities. So showering is on here if you wanna use that, and then you can
Turn off the water while you
And
brush your
filling.
teeth and save up to 4 gallons.
pools, you're gonna look that up, right?
That's up to 200.
Wow, is that more than you thought it was gonna be? That's a lot. 22, think of what you could do in 22,000. We may be able to do everything on this list 10 times with that. I think that's really good.
Consider buying a dual flush toilet.
And then your.
Two flush options. I have flush for liquid waste and full flush for solid.
That sounds good, y'all.
Got it on a roll. You okay, ladies?
Yeah, we're just
Do something else because we don't want to do.
we decided not to do show.
You changed your mind? That's okay. So what do we decide on now?
Something that we can do in the summer, we don't in the summer.
Okay.
I'm not in a windy pool. I was thinking about that. Like they have these water things.
So how much? Okay.
Water.
Since we could look at how much water parks use, I bet
That's
that's.
what they use a lot.
So what if yours was like, is your focus should be maybe is our fun more important than our needs and our health and our environment? That's right, that's just fun. There's no need out of that, right? Maybe that could be your focus. So I like that.
Plug the sink instead of running.
So that would be one of our facts, so then we can get started and do adding more facts. So maybe she's gonna start the facts, you wanna start writing what your hook could be? And what pictures could you put if it has to be a water park?
Water park pictures. And like shipping water to the water park. So
When washing your hands, turn the water off while Ready.
or Holiday Road.
Kentucky, we don't know, wait, I was gonna say, yeah, you do one of the beer water parks, because a lot of people.
Holiday Road is a lot.
Take 5 minutes
So you
shower.
can pick one of those and I bet the facts is
Go
on
back
there.
to the place.
So maybe you put that specific name in the title. Because if you say something about Holiday World and I'm walking down the hallway and I see that on a poster, I'm gonna say, what, Holiday World? And I'm gonna wanna look at it and I'm gonna wanna read it, right? So that's why you want that to get put. So you might wanna think about putting that at the top.
Drop tissues in the trash, but then close and save water every time.
Yep, good, so keep thinking about that. Okay.
We use water and electricity too.
Look for water sinks available with sink faucets, urinals, and showers.
Looks great.
So,
Okay, timer's getting ready to go off, so I'm gonna warn you if I don't get to it fast enough.
One drip every 6 yards, that's 1 gallon per day.
Okay. So, pencils down.
Hot water,
Pencils down. Okay, what did we, iPad's over, what did we focus on today?
Water.
What did we focus on today? Okay, thank you, Mohammed. Water conservation, hold on. Water conservation, what about water conservation?
How much we use?
Reagan? Yes, how much we use and why, and then what's our purpose? What are we gonna finish tomorrow?
Stop
What's our
using
purpose
so
of
much.
this? What, Michaela?
Stop using so much.
Yes, how it's gonna affect the people in our school, how we can get that point across on the poster.
I still spelled your name wrong.
So
This is
take
McCullough.
your papers, put them in a stack, and set them on the table next to your tray. Have a great day, see you tomorrow. Make sure you're prepared. Yep, everything